Okay, today we're going to talk about how to graph and how to save the graph. First off, we're working in Excel. So if we're working in Excel, you can either click down here on your Start menu, and under E you can find it. Sometimes you can find it up here. Worst case, I always just type it in, and then you'll see that it pops up. You're not going to go to the internet and find this. This is an application that is built into your computer. So it will pop up and look something like this. You can see here that I've input some data already. So a couple things that we can do this. One is that we can make a table out of this. So sometimes you'll be asked to input a table. So you can see that I'm going to click and drag and highlight all of this. I'm going to go up to these 4 squares here. And on the drop down menu, I'm going to click all borders. So now you can see it's nice and pretty. It has some lines on it. If I wanted to center those, a couple things, you can click and drag it like this. You can click and drag this part, anything that you want in this. And for the alignment, we're going to center this alignment. So you can see it already looks a little better already. To input a chart or graph, what we're going to do is you're going to highlight. Make sure you highlight just the numbers. You're going to go to Insert. And here you'll see some charts that you can insert. You're going to look for this one. It's going to be a scatter plot because you're looking at a change over time. So when you do this drop-down menu, you're just going to pick this very first one. So click that. So you can see that our information has come up on this chart. So a couple things we need to add to the chart is the title. Remember, the chart title always reads the effect of the independent variable on the dependent variable. Remember that all your proper nouns need to be capitalized in this. So depending on what the experiment was, depends on how you would write this. But these would be filled in the independent and dependent variables. So a couple other things is we need to label these chart axes because we need to know what data are we looking at. So anytime you can't find out how to edit this, if you double click on it, you'll see that Chart Tools comes up. You'll see that when I'm off of it, it goes away. So just by clicking on this, opens it up. So I'm going to click on that. So for this, I need to add chart elements. So I go over here, and it gives me a lot of options. The first thing I want to do is add axis titles. If for some reason it didn't have a title where you could type it in, you could add that here. You don't need to worry about error bars and grid lines or trend lines. So we're just looking at this. So you're going to add a primary horizontal axis, and then you're going to go back and add a primary vertical axis. They don't say X and Y, so you kind of have to infer what that is. So here, this is our time. You can notice in here we don't have any of our units. So we're just going to say that this is minutes. Over here, we're going to put degrees. You could put Fahrenheit, Celsius, whatever it is. We will have to go and find the degree symbol, but for right now, you could just put the F. So this is the parts of a well-organized data chart graph. You can see it has a title, and the axes are labeled with units. Units are always going to be in parentheses.